まずは今、私が喋ってます。Zoom で聞こえてるけど、私の声がちょっと遅れて YouTube で聞こえてるかどうかを教えてください。今喋ってます。ちょっと YouTube テストです。もうインタラクティブクリーンナップの配信始めてます。しばらくお待ちくださいの画面ですが、私の声 YouTube から聞こえてますか？はい。じゃあ、ついでなので、そのまま小林さん、イレーザーズの人の声を YouTube に入れるので、なんか喋ってみてください。テストテストとか言って。
テストテスト。テストテスト。テストテスト。テストテスト。インタラクティブクリーンナップ、テストテスト。入ってるらしいです。
はい。 Hi. Good evening, everyone. This is a YouTube live streaming for the robot competition in the ILS 2022 Interactive Service Robot Competition in Cyberspace, and it is as held at the same time as a RoboCup at Home Simulation (OPL) Open Platform. So I am an organizer of this competition, Tetsunari Inamura from National Institute of Informatics Japan. Okay, so we'd like to start the second task in the first day, named Interactive Cleanup Task. So I'd like to first explain about the task, the aim of the robots in the second task, and then make a brief introduction of the team participants. So, in the left side of the screen, a slide explains that the interactive cleanup is shown. The, in this morning, we performed the handyman task. Handyman task, the robot should receive instruction given by natural language expression from human avatar and understand what is the request from the human. So in this case, the interactive cleanup, the robot should understand the meaning of the gesture instruction, not only the natural language. So basically, the instruction will be given by the gesture communication in this task. Okay, so the human, for example, the real environment, we have another competition named RoboCup at home. In the real environment, of course, the real human make some instruction to each robot. That kind of competition is already held in real world. But one of the limitation and problem in the real world competition is that the pointing gesture should be given by real human, and that real human's instruction should be given to a certain team at the same time, just once. Of course, in the real field, a robot, one robot will make interact with a human. So one-to-one communication. Then after finishing the session, change the teams and different robot come to the field and the human will give the same or related or similar gesture communication to robots. So it means that the gestures, detailed gestures, direction or speed of the movement of the hand or fingers, posture might be different among the team. So it is a little bit problem from the viewpoint of the statistical analysis, statistical evaluation. So in this virtual world, to deal with such a limitation and problems, the human avatar is operated by real human. The real human instructs some gesture, and that is transferred to human avatar in cyberspace. Then the same emotion, same gesture, same instruction, same behavior should be distributed to all the teams. That is the advantage of this competition in cyberspace. So it means the statistical evaluation from the viewpoint of the fair evaluation is available. Okay. Hi. So this time the three teams participate to this second task named interactive. So the name of the teams is listed up on the right top level. Actually this competition the six teams attended, but the three of six team retired to this interactive cleanup. So the team number one Soviets, team number four Erasers, team number five Triangles. The three teams will deal with this second task, interactive cleanup. Okay, so I'd like to shift to the team introduction. Okay, so then first team is Soviets. So, Sobit, could you make a brief introduction? 山田さんかなみえさん
はい。三重
ふ
から失礼します。
ふはい。OK。
日本語で
はい、
大丈夫ですかね。
日本語でもいいですよ。はい。
はい。私たちソビッツは生活支援ロボットの開発などを行いながら、そうですね、研究を進めています。で、このロボカップには10年ほど前から参加させていただきまして、シミュレーションリーグでは複数回の優勝経験と、それこそハンディマンでは、今回のハンディマンでも、優勝経験をさせていただいて、今回のハンディマンでもいい成績を残させてもらったんですけど、まあ、ここで気を抜かず、このインタラクティブクリーンナップ、また次のヒューマンナビゲーションにつなげれるような、結果を残していけたらなと思っております。よろしくお願いします。
はい、ありがとうございます。そう、ちょっと日本語で続けますが、ソビッツはね、ディフェンディングチャンピオンで、前回の2021のロボカップでも優勝チームということで、強豪チームになってます。今回も優勝するか、他のチームが連勝を阻止するかっていうところが見どころになっているという状況ですね。今日の午前のハンディマンではぶっちぎりの、はい、トップスコアでした。はい、さあインタラクティブでもぶっちぎれるかどうかというのを、はい、注目したいと思います。So, Team Soviet is a very defending champion. They won the previous competition in 2021, and the very excellent and very strong teams always clear the difficult problems. And actually, in this morning, in handyman task, they cleared very difficult tasks, and that the robot found out the some misunderstanding instruction given by but given by human. Okay, so we'd like to focus and encourage their challenge to keep the defending champion. Hi, thank you. Okay, just second team is Erasers. Who will make introduction? Hi, Kobayashi-san. Hi.
Hello, we are Team Erases Mission OPL from Tonga University. We are comprised of third-year students. We usually join the RoboCup at Home DSPL League and Education League and Flying Robot Challenge to achieve some result. We will do our best to performance better than last year. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much. Then Erasers is also the very strong team that has a wide variety of the distribution for contribute to a couple of a different kind of competition, like not only this at-home simulation OPL, but as they introduce RoboCup education, at-home education, and DSPL that uses the real robot and flying robot competition. So many skills and know-how are grown in the team. So we'd like to focusing on whether they can ね、fight with Soviet team. はい。Okay, じゃあ last team is triangulars. So 石川さん、はい。
はい。My name is Riichiro Ishikawa. Today is my first time to participate in RoboCup itself. So I am happy to see a variety of things. I look forward to working with you. Thank you.
はい、thanks. Then triangulars is also one of the colleagues to always take part in this competition. But are you the first time to participate to this at home simulation? Okay. So unfortunately in the morning the handyman task the robot software of the triangulars couldn't execute due to some technical troubles. So I hope this time in this evening do, do you think that worked well?
Very difficult.
はい。Okay. So Yeah, it's almost the time to go to the competition. Hi, thank you so much for the introduction. Okay, so let's prepare the competition system. There, you should show. So the three screens are up here. It means that, as I explained in the morning, this competition will be held in cyberspace. Cyberspace in the cloud computing named AWS, Amazon Web Service. Then three screen above here and the left side of my face is the screen of the AWS. So now each team start to execute their software for the intelligent robots, and their software will connect to the competition system that will be managed in the Unity-based competition system that's working on the AWS. So everyone, please tell us when if you finish to launch the software. So please wait a moment. We are now waiting the software connection from the participant.
Team races is completed.
Okay,
Launch.
Team Eraser is ready. Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
ready.
Hi. So we are now waiting the remaining two teams, and after the initialization of all the teams, we'd like to start the competition.
ソビッツ立ち上げました。
Hi, Sobits is ready. Hi, thank you.
And Team Triangle is ready.
Okay, so all the teams are ready for start the competition system. Okay, yeah, let's start the competition system. Hi, then you can see the screen of the virtual cyberspace that is working in the AWS. So, as you can see in the screen that the avatar is shown in the right side small window. That is the focusing window to check the behavior of avatar. And avatar is now starting to move and make a pointing gesture instruction, as you can see in the Soviet team right here. This one, this one, around here. Uh, the pointing gesture will be performed twice. Twice means the first gesture indicate the target object, and the second pointing gesture is correspond to pointing the final destination. So, for example, one of the example is pointing an object that should be trash away into trash can, and the second gesture pointing is indicating that the final destination, like a trash box. So you can see the several kind of trash boxes, like a red one, green one, blue one. So one of the usage of the pointing gesture is which trash box should be the target. Okay. The erasers, as you might be able to watch the long behavior of eraser that the robot collide with human. So that is so unpolite behavior as a service robot. Then the negative score minus 72 are given to the erasers. So what happened? So then the Soviet team, the robot is gazing somewhere, and I don't know whether the robot is finding the target object or not, but robot is now carefully watching the environment. I guess the robot is now looking for the target object because the direction of the robot is not the humans. So I think after the calculation of the identification of the target object, the robot is now approaching to the target object, I think. On the right side, the robot will collide with human. Bam! Then some effect appeared on the screen that lasers collide with human. Of course, collide with human is quite a problem, big problem in the daily life environment. So the negative score or 8 it. Okay. So by the way, triangulars, it might be problem because the robot doesn't move. So erasers, the robot is looking for a certain object, and it seems to be looking for the target. But I don't know whether the robot understood which is the target object. So how about Soviet team? The robot is now trying to pick up some object like a dog doll. So is it failed to grasp? So it means the Soviet robot recognized that the target object is a dog doll, but I guess the target is not that doll, but another one. And the instruction was pointed out the bear doll, not dog doll. So I guess the Soviet robot misunderstood that is the target object. I guess something very related object. So the Soviets failed to clear the first session and they went to the second session. Okay. Then second session, of course, the different instruction, different posture, different pointing gesture are given to the robots, and robots should continue to understand the pointing gesture instruction. So by the way, for erasers, uh, again, the robot is now approaching to humans, so it is required to avoid the human, but collide with human. So many collision between human are happen. So the negative score minus 300 was given to erasers. Failed. Time is up. So the time limitation of this interactive cleanup is 6 minutes. 6 minutes. After the 6 minutes, even if the robot couldn't find out the target object, the session will be finished forcefully and going to the next session. Okay, so then erasers couldn't get any point at the first session. And Soviets also couldn't get the point at the first session. So now the score is equal between Soviets and erasers. So by the triangles is not performing now. So triangles, Ishikawa-san, what happened on your software?
午前と同じで、致命的に環境がちょっと壊れちゃってるのが修復できなかったんで、今回もイタリアですね。
わかりました。はい。じゃあね、ちょっと、どうやって復旧するかを、ちょっと明日に向けていろいろと、はい、作成を練っておいてもらえればと思います。はい。OK。So triangular software, the environment to develop the robot software was broken due to some technical troubles. I don't know the detailed reasons, but for example, source code was lost or rewrite the software was out of the expectation of some communication bit in the competition application. So it is a little bit difficult to deal with in short time. So I think the trouble is the same as in the handyman task in this morning. Okay, so they gave up all the sessions. Okay, so the competition is focusing on the comparison between Soviets and erasers. Oh, good job is appeared on the Soviet screen. So in this case, the drink was the target object by pointing gestures, and the Soviets can grasp the target plastic bottle. So the next requirement is to put on the destination. So let's focusing on whether the robot can bring that plastic bottle to the destination. So the robot is now putting on this table. Task completed. Okay, excellent. This is the destination, which is pointed by the human avatar. The robot could understand which is the target, which is the destination by just watching the pointing gesture. Okay, so they cleared the second session and they got 100 points. Okay, so in the case of the erasers, they are now facing to second session. So it means the same instruction that the target object is the drink plastic bottle.
Sorry,
はい。
Team Release, I'm Team Release's member. Real program has some problems, so please restart again.
Okay.
Please restart.
Okay, so you declare the restart means stop at the second session and
Yes,
restart from the third session.
Yes.
セカンドを2番目をギブアップして3番目に行きます。3番目からリスタート。これでいいですね。
はい、大丈夫です。
はい、OK。So Team Eraser faced to some software troubles and they gave up second session. So we'd like to start from the third session, going to the next one. Okay? じゃあ please prepare for the restart.
Okay, we are ready.
Okay. So now my sound is here and on the YouTube. So the fourth session, the Soviets is now trying to find the target object, but the behavior was stopped, as well as the Soviet in the lasers. I don't know whether the robot is thinking about something, but Eraser's robot doesn't move after the so many collision with the human avatar. Soviets, yeah, the movement and the navigation skill of the Soviet seems to be very excellent. In the previous moment, the robot avoid not to collide with human avatar. So at the fourth session in the Soviet screen, the target object is a spray bottle, and let's focusing on whether the robot can grasp the spray bottle. But they are now approaching to dog doll. I guess this is not the correct target, so it failed to grasp. So the Soviets failed to identify the pointing instruction, unfortunately. Then they went to fifth session.
Sorry, I erased this. So please restart one more.
And
This is
erasers.
yes.
Hi. Okay, so erasers gave up the third session and going to the next session, that is fourth session. 3番目をギブアップして4番目に行く。で OK ですね。
はい。
はい。OK. Then they gave up third session. So let's start from fourth session. So during the restart of the lasers, the Soviets is going to fifth session. So as you can see in the avatars. Okay, then erasers, please start your ROS program. Hi, the avatar is now keeping on continue the pointing instruction, and then the robot is starting to approach to the target object. So this
Team Erasers is ready. So
Team
please
Eraser
start.
is ready, so please start the competition system. And fifth session, the target object is a rabbit. So let's see whether the robot can grasp the rabbit doll. That is just put under the desk, I think. Okay. So erasers start to move again at the fourth session. So let's watch whether they can find the target object in the fourth session. The target is the spray bottle. Okay. So now the gesture is given to the robots, and the robot is now approaching to human to keep on watching the big pointing gesture. Right. Oh, but erasers, the human is now pointing, but the direction is opposite. I think the direction of the current robot is quite different from the position of the human, so it is very difficult to understand which object is pointed out by the human avatar. So I guess the erasers might very difficult to understand the meaning of the instruction. So, by the way, Soviets, they are now grasping the brew cup. So I think it is not the target, right? Failed because the target object is doll, just put under the desk. So it's also a difficult task to identify the position of the target. So in this interactive cleanup, the important point is to understand the three-dimensional direction given by posture, pointing gesture. This is a challenge and difficult point to calculate which direction is the given by instruction, pointing gestures. Of course, the robot has stereo camera, two camera, binocular cameras, so basically, three-dimensional direction could be calculated by the, but the two-dimensional binocular camera is not so high resolution, so it is required to estimate which object is the closest and the most plausible target from the given information. So the eraser failed to deal with fourth session, so they went to fifth session. So in this interactive cleanup, all the teams are facing to some difficult situation. Only the one session by Soviet. Soviets clear the one session, but the other session it is also very difficult to identify the target object. So Soviet is now trying to deal with sixth session, and Eraser is now on fifth session. Eraser's behavior on the right side will be very nice, that to avoid and keep distance from human avatar and watching the pointing gesture. So the point is whether the robot can recognize the direction of the pointing gesture or not. On the left side, Soviets, the robot is now thinking how to move to the destination, but the conscious point is the doll is just put on the side of the robots. Okay. Because if the robot hit some object put on the floor, it will be negative point. So, but I think the one collision was held. So the current point of the Soviet is -5. It means once the robot hit with some furniture or object. So then, the robot is now trying to grasp the doll, dog doll. So is it a target or not? Failed. So difficult. I don't know, but the Soviet robot is tends to pick up the dog doll. I don't know whether that is the preference of the robots, but so I'd like to ask Soviets whether that behavior is right or not.ソビッツの三重さん、今のずっと犬のぬいぐるみに向かってってる気がしなくもないんですけど、どんなもんでしょう。
はい。今の挙動に関しては、その物体認識の前のその指差し認識の段階で、そうですね、ロボットが取りづらい方向をされてしまって、今の指差し認識自体がうまくいかなかったので、その物体を探索する方向を間違えてしまって、たまたまそこに今回はドッグドールが多いっていう形になっています。
なるほど、なるほど。これはプログラムはやっぱりまた去年からだいぶシステムが変わったりバージョンが変わってるので、なんかゼロから作り直しになってるんですか？
いや、特にその指差し認識に関してはちょっと課題があって、で、その上でいろいろ試してみたんですけど、最終的には割と去年のに近い形になってて、ただその上で挙動がちょっと意図してたものと違うところが多くて、そうですね、去年よりちょっともろもろ精度が下がってしまっているという現状になってます。
はい。じゃ去年のプログラムを、アップデートしてると。けど、ちょっとなんか今年と相性が合わなかった感じですか？
いや、おそらく、作っていたプログラムの中で多分一部修正していく中で、自分が間違えてしまった部分があって、組み合わなかったっていう形になっていると思います。
なるほど、なるほど。はい、わかりました。So Soviets basically update the last software. Last means the last year. But I guess they guess something trouble or some problem was embedded to the software during the modification of the past software. Okay. はい。 So by the way, the session is going to 6th session and 7th session. The eraser is now dealing with 6th session. And Soviet is now dealing with 7th session. So on the right side, the target object of the eraser is the plastic bottle, the drinking bottle. And the Soviets at the 7th session is also the plastic bottle, drinking bottle. Then the Soviet team.
So
Hi.
we are team ministers. So sorry. Please. Please restart. One more, please.
You gave up the 6th session and
Yes.
going to 7th.
Give up this section.
Give
Yes.
up. Hi. Okay. So they say that the erasers give up this current 6th session. Oh, the failed give up. The Soviet robot gave up at the 7th session. So I think this afternoon the interactive cleanup is a little bit difficult for the participant, even though the problem, the content of the instruction, the more than half is already open. We are sharing the past instruction, which was given by the human avatar in the past competition. But I guess some improvement or modification of the software contains some software bugs. So erasers, please restart the ROS software on your Ubuntu side. And please tell us after you restart the ROS software. So on the Soviets, it went to 8th session and
すい
they
ません。ソビットなんですけど、今、
はい
ソフトウェア側でエラーが出たので、それ直してもよろしいでしょうか。
8番目をギブアップするってことですね。
はい、そうです。
はい、OK。The Soviets will give up the 8th session。8番目、ソビエツギブアップするということです。で、restart from 9th session。9番目からリスタートですね。OK。じゃあ、wait for a minute for Soviets. We are waiting for the restart of erasers.
Team Erasers is launched.
Team erasers ready? OK。
Ready.
じゃあ
I'm ready.
はい。じゃあ、let's start the erasers competition system. OK, the erasers restart from 7th session. OK. Hi, Soviets, please restart your raw software now. You can restart. Hi. Then please tell us when you finish to restart your raw software. Okay, during the restart process of the Soviets, the eraser is dealing with the eighth session. Oh, fail! I don't know, but the eraser gave up the seventh session and went to eighth session. So many giving up are roast. So I guess many students tackle with
すいま
some
せん、ソビエトリス
difficulties.
タートしました。
Hi, Soviets finished the restart, so please restart the competition system for the Soviets. Hi, the Soviets will start from ninth session. Hi. So erasers, the robot is keeping a certain distance from the human, and they sometimes backward to keep the distance and to watch the pointing gestures. And now the erasers, I don't know, start to turning around, turn around, turn around. I don't know this is the right strategy. Oh, give up. Erasers also gave up the eighth session. So both of teams are dealing with the ninth session. Well, Soviet's behavior seems to be very flexibly that according to the human's working behavior, the robot also moved to the same direction to keep on observing the pointing gestures. So the next point is whether the robot can recognize the direction of the pointing gesture. So let's focusing on the relationship between the human's posture and the robot movement. So by the way, the ninth session, the target is canned drink, canned juice. So whether the robot can find the target object. Erasers gave up. So difficult. Yeah, currently eraser couldn't find and identify the target object, and the total score is still 0. So let's focusing on the last session whether the erasers could get any points. So 10th session, the target object is an hourglass. The Soviet is now facing to ninth session. The target is canned juice. So erasers is dealing with the final session. The target is hourglass. That is put on the you might be see that hourglass just close to the final destination, final target. You might be able to watch the movement of my mouse. This is the point target object. Should be grasped by robot, but the robot failed. Unfortunately, Soviets also gave up the ninth session. So this time the interactive cleanup was so difficult task for all the team. Hi, erasers performed the all the session, 10 sessions, and unfortunately, erasers couldn't get any point. The total score was 0. So, hi, it is a little bit sorry that, but some improvement or some analysis or some modification of the past software was failed, I think. Hi. But anyway, let's focusing on the last trial by Soviets. So now human avatar is working, and apart from the robots, and robot is now trying to keep a certain distance to observe the pointing gesture. So the human avatar is pointing out an hourglass. So let's focus the last challenge whether the robot can get the hourglass. You can see that this is the target object behind the robot. Then the robot is now turning around, then finding the destination areas, I think. So, so. Let's focus the last chance. As you can see, okay, this is the last team, so I will enlarge the screen. But this is, can you see the mouse movement of my screen? This is the target object, and the robot is now facing to different direction. So the robot should turn around to the opposite direction, opposite angle. So still, it might be difficult to understand the direction, the destination point for robots. No movement. So Soviets, so can you explain what happened? こう今何が起こってますか？
ですね、まず今、指差し認識がまずうまくいかなかったんですけど、今その上で物体探索を間違った方向にしながら、そもそも物体もうまいこと見つかってなくて、今ちょうどギブアップするっていう。
give up. はい。Okay, so this time the task was so difficult for you, and the Soviets just got the first session. The total score was 100. That means they succeeded once through the 10 sessions. So it was so difficult task for you. Then finally, the three teams performed all the session, and the final result in the client status is the Soviets got 100 points, and the erasers couldn't get any points, 0, and triangles also couldn't get any points. So 100, 0, 0 was the final result of the interactive cleanup. Okay. Hi. Yeah, thank you so much for the contribution. So let's finish the competition system, and I'd like to make some final interview. Hi. Okay, the three teams are appeared on the Zoom chat. Okay, so from triangles, So again, so how to deal with for the tomorrows. If you have some comments or some feedback, まあ日本語でもいいですよ。You can speak in English, in Japanese. あ、石川さんの声が聞こえない。I cannot hear 石川さん 's voice.
Sorry、明日までに可能な限りちょっと修復する挑戦を行っていきたいと思っております。
はい。明日はヒューマンナビゲーションですけど、それも壊れてますか今？大丈夫？
全体的に環境が壊れていることが判明してしまって。
なるほど、なるほど。はい。じゃあ明日はまだね、今日ちょっと早めに終わるので、明日までまだまだいろいろまだ時間あるので、ぜひ頑張って復旧活動してください。はい、楽しみにしております。はい、Thank you. So, じゃあ、Erasers, could you give us short comment? 日本語でもいいですよ。
日本語でいいですか？
はい、
前回出場した時はそもそも動かなくて、ちょっと苦い思い出だったんで、今回はちゃんと人を追っかけて、指差しをするところまでしかできなかったんですけど、そこまでは組み込んだんですけど、でも、一つ追跡があまりうまく動いてなかった印象があったので、次の機会にはちゃんと直して、その後のものも組み込んで参加したいと思います。
はい。動いてるところもかっこあるけど、やっぱ最後の指差しの認識が多分かなり厳しかったかな。
そうですね、画角に収まってないパターンがいくつかあったので、もう少し調整しないといけないかなっていう印象ですね。
なるほど、なるほど。はい、わかりました。去年は全然動いてなかったけど、今年は
そうですね、去年はもう微動だに
に
しなかったので、はい、今年はまだいいのかなっていうイメージです。
はい、わかりました。じゃあ、次はじゃあ頑張ってね、1回でも点が入るといいですね。
はい、頑張ります。
はい、Thank you. Then the Erasers try to, this is the second trial for take part in the at-home simulation for Erasers. And the last time in 2021, they couldn't move anywhere, any movement or perform, just stop at the initial position. But this time, the Erasers robot can deal with the movement of the human. But the final point is to capture all the posture, and not outside of the camera, but always track the human's posture according to the human's movement and recognize which direction the human is pointing. So the final process to recognize the direction was the problem and difficult for Elizas. Hi. So they said they will continue to improve their software. Okay, so we'd like to expect the next challenge. Hi. Thank you. Last is Soviet. So you could the first the one sessions. So what was the point and what was the different point in the succeeded session and the failed session?
はい。日本語で大丈夫ですか？
日本語でもいいですよ。
はい、ありがとうございます。そうですね。まず、今回に関しては、全体的にその課題となった部分が物体認識と、指差し認識ってところだったんですけど、特にその指差し認識に関しては、今回、大会で使用したものが、まだ精度がだいぶ、いい方だということで使ってたんですけど、まず今回成功したのは、まずそこがうまくいった点と、あと物体認識に関してで、本当はロボットが今ちょっと前しか向けてなかったんですけど、下も向く予定だったんですよね。で、たまたまその今回のその成功したに関しては、うまいこと、そこは組み合って、自分の画角の中に、外したい物体を収めることができたっていうところが、今回のポイントの、取れた原因と、要因だったと思います。ただ逆にそこがうまく画角に収めきれてなかった点が、今回、去年より大きく落ちてしまった点なっているの出ます。
はい、そうですね。なかなかそこの人をちゃんとカメラで追いかけ続けるっていうのが難しいと思うんですが、そこもね、もし実機に行った時にはめちゃくちゃ大事になるポイントなので、そっぽ向いてあっち向いてると全く分かんないので、 そこの部分をさらに強化していくって感じですね。去年はねだいぶ動いてたので、去年からするとちょっと改造して悪くなっちゃった感じですね。残念だけど。
そうです。
はい。
そうです。来年にはむしろより良くして改善して臨めたらと思います。
はい、thank you. The Soviet team, due to some modification of the software, the performance, I don't know the detailed reason, but the performance of the software was degraded due to some modification and improvement. But the performance, unfortunately, became to be a little bit unexpected situation. はい。But the point is whether the robot can capture all the human's posture according to the human's movement. So that is one of the very, very difficult point in this interactive cleanup because the aim of the watching, observing the human has a two aspect. One is the tracking the human's movement, and additionally recognize the direction. 4 hours for natural humans, it is so quite easy task to understand the human's movement and human posture, but still it is a little bit difficult for robots to perform these different different kind of task at the same time to track the human and to watch the pointing gestures and to calculate the pointing directions. So it's a kind of the limitation and the big differences between the conventional computer vision like a recently. Yeah, we can easily use some deep learning techniques or some YOLO, YOLO, YOLO for the object recognition, or some you might be know that the open pose to capture the old skeleton information by robots, but the in this task, the camera is attached on the robots, so robots have to keep on tracking the human's movement with movable camera. So the robot have to track not only just changing the direction, but the keeping the distance, for example, close to human or keep distance apart from human to capture all the posture. So that is one of the difficulties, I think. Hi, anyway, thank you for all the team participants. So we can finalize all the session. Okay, the final results should be summarized after the competition, this interactive cleanup. But according to the client status, only the Soviets got the 100 point, and remaining two teams failed to get point. Okay. So, in other words, the Soviets won this interactive cleanup. Hi. Okay, thank you so much for the participant. And this is the final session of today's competition. Both of handyman and interactive cleanup are finished. Okay, thanks. Then, the next day, tomorrow, we will have a final task named human navigation. Human navigation, and that is one of the main event of this competition. And human navigation will be started around 11:30. The YouTube stream start from 11:20 tomorrow's. So please come here again or watch on the live stream in YouTube. So lunchtime, this competition is now held in the Iros competition venue. So the lunch break will start from 11:30. So if you are interested in the next task, please take a lunch box and come to our booth. That is in the event hall. Okay. So thank you for your interest. And of course, this YouTube live stream will be put on the YouTube, so you can check afterward this competition. Okay. Hi. Anyway, thank you for the participant for day one. So see you tomorrow again from 11:20. 11:20 at lunchtime. Okay. Hi. Thank you so much. Hi. See you tomorrow. I hope your improvement and software recovery for tomorrow's competition. Hi. Okay. See you.